Oh, hang on.
Before we went away.
Okay, we're gonna start tonight's, this evening's meeting. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Town of Williamsburg Planning Board meeting, July 18th, 2024. Our midsummer meeting. We're gonna get one more meeting with nice weather and start to cool off. Like, hope everybody's having a fantastic summer. It's been the sunniest summer we've had in decades, so it's been great. But doesn't have much to do with planning, but it's just a good thing. My name is Jeff Schmidt. I'm the chairperson of the Town of Williamsburg Planning Board. All around interest members of the board.
Mike Harris, I'm the vice chair.
Matt Hoffman, planning board member. Mike Walpole, planning board member. Josh Houghton, planning board member.
Good evening, Elizabeth Novak, planning board member.
Not a planning board member, but planning board attorney. Teresa Baker, sorry.
And Chris Parcel, town planner, code enforcement officer.
Okay. We also have in the audience our town designated engineer for several projects, Cole. So he's here with us too. He provides technical assistance to the board on some of the complex projects we have. The agendas, I believe, are at the door. They're always available online 10 days before the meeting. And you're welcome to have those and we can walk and review them. The first part of our meetings always open up with what we call the open forum, which allows anyone in the audience to address the board on issues that are concerned to them, that may deal with items the board is dealing with currently, or if there's any other planning issues in the town, growth of the town, just any comment. We ask that you identify yourself by your name and your location and limit your presentation to both about 4 minutes. And if an item that you'd like to discuss is on tonight's agenda, we ask that you not participate with that during the open forum. It'll be talked about during the presentations for that particular item. So with that, kind of as ground rules, I make a motion to open the open forum for the Town of Williamsburg Planning Board's July 18th, 2024 meeting.
And I'll second that.
Chairman Schmidt.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Harris.
Yes.
Board Member Novak.
Yes.
Board Member Houghton.
Yes.
Board Member Hoffman.
Yes.
Board Member Walpole.
Yes.
Anyone has any comments? Now's the time. So we can move it along.
Okay, I'll make a motion to close the forum.
Second.
Vice Chairman Harris.
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt.
Yes.
Board Member Novak.
Yes.
Board Member Houghton.
Yes.
Board Member Hoffman.
Yes.
Board Member Walpole.
Yes.
Okay, first item on tonight's agenda is the sketch plan review. It's William P. Kelly and Dania Padilla, minor subdivision or a lot line adjustment in town of Williamsburg. So what here could you get over it? Tell us what you're up to.
Chris will be on the board here.
No,
Okay.
no, I
Sorry, I
don't
would
have any PowerPoint. They have it all though.
Okay, you got it. All right, sorry, I would have brought a board. This represents John Hitchcock with ABD Engineers and Surveyors representing Bill Kelly. He owns about 25.7 acres between two parcels in the southwestern easterly quadrant of Duanesburg Church Road and Skyline Drive. He's just looking to do a lot line adjustment between the two parcels. His home currently sits right on the corner of Duanesburg Church Road and Skyline Drive. That's about I think a 20-something acre, 19.5 acre parcel. He just wants to reduce that down to about 4.3 acres and increase the 6 acre lot to 21 and change acre parcel where he wants to build his future home. So we're just looking to move this over to Chris and take any questions you might have.
We just did a subdivision license, right? We said. No,
This one's called
you're
Carl.
you're thinking of watching Scott.
Oh, it's just,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't think so, but I'm just filling in on this one.
So there's 25 acres, there's 6 acres, and there's 19 acres. Can you just go through that one more time?
Yeah, I'm just kind of reading off a map. I wasn't involved in this too much here. So it's overall, I think a total like 25.7 acres. He's reducing down to 4.34 acres on his house, which is 4487 Skyline Drive, and that's that corner lot right there.
Yeah.
And then the residual land added with the existing property would be 21.33. It's a little like 200 lineal foot or wide lot that he's combining there.
Just getting that line, moving it separate.
Yeah.
Chris, does the small one meet all the requirements?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
No setback issues, nothing like that.
Nope.
Yeah, I think it's double almost the lot area it should be. The
You're talking
minimum
about the
lot.
corner lot, right, Teresa?
Yep,
So the setbacks. and-
Yeah, he's within the setbacks.
The only thing I don't see is the location of the well and the septic plan. Make sure that.
Well,
it's-
is
One wall's up here.
Yeah, the wells are in the front yard. I think there's two
Oh,
in the
there
front
it
yard.
is. Yeah. Just to make sure that it's inside the.
Yeah, I'm gonna just, make the assumption that it's on the west side of the house. But that's something we could confirm with the owner, Chris, and put on the final plan for you. Because of the existing tree line in the pond, it's really the only location.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the only comment that I would have, to make sure,
Yeah.
that it's shown on the plan. So Chris could do the lot line adjustment.
Yeah, we can get that.
You guys good then?
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
I don't think my speech is
Mike's gonna
been
read.
lost. So I got- So the planning board determines that this requires no additional action by us. We're gonna refer it over to the code enforcement officer. It's by in accordance to section 3.4, the additional, and this is a lot line adjustment, makes no additional lots. And the only additional requirement we're gonna have is make sure that the septic field is shown in the plan that you sign off on.
You're making that motion?
I'm making that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Vice Chairman Harris,
Yes.
Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt.
Yes.
Board Member Howland,
Yes.
Board Member Hoffman,
Yes.
Board Member Walpole.
Yes.
Thank you.
Easy, has to stay all night long.
You want to stay with us?
How do we get out of here?
Good night.
Okay, next item on here is, we have one public hearing scheduled for this evening. The public hearing is, for Thomas Samuelson, 6928 Waynesburg Road. Seeking a special use permit to convert an existing building back, which apparently was a two-family years and years ago, back into a two-family dwelling. So we would like to hear from our Representative Samuelson. Hey, okay, now we understand that the parcel has been sold and that Samuelson is no longer the owner, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Do you know who the new owner is?
It's a Mr. Mohammed. Not sure his last name. He's not present. I'm told he sent an email to a building inspector that was supposed to be here. Maybe that I'm filling in.
Are you authorized to represent him?
What's required for authorization?
Well, you don't own the parcel of land, he owns the
Right,
parcel of land.
right, so
So how can you represent anything to the board that, you know,
Chris, did you get an email from him?
no.
okay.
I left Tom a message, we were playing phone tag all day, I left him a message and told him we needed a letter before the meeting. I'm checking my email right now and there's nothing.
Here's what I recommend, I make a motion to cancel the hearing, you know.
Table it.
Table the hearing until we get the owner of the property.
Okay.
Here, we don't know if he's gonna be owner occupied, if it's gonna be flipped, you know, or rented out. As you're aware, the parking is a major issue. It says here, you know, no more than 4 automobiles, which is still, in my mind, a contentious issue, but you know, I think we have to deal with that, but,
Roger.
okay, all right, so.
Teresa, I have a question.
Yep.
If the application originally came through Mr. Samuelson, no longer owns the property, is the whole application invalid now?
No, no,
And would it have to be brought by the new owner?
no. These things travel with the property, all right, so as long as the new owner authorizes Mr. Samuelson to continue to act as his agent with respect to this application, there's nothing wrong.
Okay. So Mr. Samuelson has to be authorized as the agent.
That's right. That's
Or
right.
the.
Or-
Present.
Or the owner be present, whichever is easiest. Is he gonna be in, we don't wanna like put this out for public notice and stuff again. Are we, and then have to do it again, are you sure he'll be here
Either-
next month?
Either my father or the owner will be here.
Okay.
The next one, he wasn't able to make it.
Can you let your father know that we need something in writing from Mr. Mohammed saying that he's authorized to continue with the application?
Something from Mr. Mohammed to my father saying my dad's
To the
able to,
town.
to the town.
Let me, I'll write you a note, come up afterwards, I'll give it to you.
Can you still do it, like, let people speak?
Well,
so they
that's
waste their
fine.
time?
Yeah, if people are
I
here to
agree.
talk about
Is
this.
anyone here that would like to, I'll make a motion to open the public hearing. Close it. Just to respect anybody that came here to make a comment on this particular situation.
Well, I came to listen to the comments. I don't understand who this young man is.
He's the son of the previous owner, Mr.
Oh,
Samuelson.
you're Samuels.
Yes.
Yeah, and they just had a sale in between, that's all. So we're trying to make sure we have all the paperwork straight at the town. So if we issue a permit, the permit will be issued for the property in the name of the current owner.
And a property can be sold before the variance, is it a variance?
It absolutely can.
Okay,
This is a special use permit. So the house is a single family residential house right now. Anybody can buy it, anybody can live in it. They just can't have 2 families in it until they have the special use.
I see. So there'll be another public hearing next month.
I'm hearing that's the desire of the board.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta hear, what my concern is that, what does the new owner know about all these discussions we've had over the last 5 months? You know, we've had a lot of discussions about traffic and parking and fencing, and he may be clueless that the way the position is currently is there's a limitation of only 4 vehicles could ever be parked on that piece of property, which is not a lot of room there. I mean, you
Well,
gotta.
they did make a parking area on the west side,
Yeah.
but then they put a fence in front of it.
That's right.
Yeah, and that had to do with that was part of the process with DOT is how they could access.
So that's not a parking area.
No,
It's not, you can't access it at all.
It's kind of the pitfalls of constructing things before you have a plan that's approved.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was done kind of piecemeal. We've asked Mr. Samuelson many times for, you know, plans and specs, and he did the work and then give us a sketch, so it was kind of. It really didn't follow the process that he would expect from the applicant. That's why we're kind of jammed up on this.
Are there other people here that have questions and want to talk about this? Okay, you opened it, we didn't vote on it, let's just make this all official, and then we'll
okay.
table it, okay? I'll second it.
Okay.
All right,
There we go.
So are we leaving, just to be clear, we're leaving the public hearing open
Okay.
and we're gonna continue it until the next meeting?
yes. So this is the vote to open.
Chairman Schmidt. Vice Chairman Harris.
Yes.
Board Member Novak.
Yes.
Board Member Howland.
yeah,
Board Member Hoffman.
Yes.
Board Member Walpole.
yes.
Okay.
Now, are there any other comments, questions, concerns? Now, do we wanna table it? Is that the right term?
No, we just continue the public hearing.
You're gonna leave the public hearing open.
Very long public hearing.
I'm going forever.
Oh, I'm going on.
Get out of
You're not.
Okay, so make a motion to
Keep her going.
continue the public hearing until our next meeting, which is August 18th. All right, August 15th. Will be the continuation of the public hearing.
I'll second.
Chairman Schmidt.
Yes.
Board Member Novak.
Yes.
Board Member Houghton.
Yes.
Board Member Hoffman.
Yes.
Board Member Walpole.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Harris.
Yes.
Great.
You're on the other page.
Okay, now back around to old business, Cooper Energy, that's our solar project that we proposed for Alexander Road. We have a site visit up there. So remember here, the local fire chief, fire representative, are going through
Sorry.
You know,
Wait to get back.
that was a while ago, not too long ago, but let's find out where we are right now and.
I'd like to say, good evening, everybody, Tony Stefan, Kruger Energy USA. We're still working with the town to fill in information, working with Doug. I'm here with our attorney, Doug Warden, our consulting engineer, Dominic Rico, and Joseph Bedenji is here, he works on construction. Just to reiterate, we're committed to this project. Kruger has a long history, 100-year company that builds energy projects all over the world. We feel like we're confident we can pull this off. I put another photo up there just because we've been sort of in down the rabbit hole, but I think the site's gonna look great after we're done. And I would point the board to the other solar project that's just up the road that you can't really see and you can't hear, and that's our goal. So with that, I'll let Dominic fill in.
Yeah, I was gonna point out a few things of what we have, but Doug has been, we're talking with Doug over the past few weeks, couple weeks at least. We met out on site, had a walk of the site with Doug, emergency services. The chairman was there, couple other fire department guys. And we, the final response you have now, very minor in my eyes as far as some technical numbers and some other clarifications, I would say. I think all the reports have been updated to date. Everything's been it's fully completed, all the studies, visuals, everything is done and completed. I think the only report that will be updated at this point is probably the stormwater report to update some of the calculations we discussed. Otherwise, I can answer questions I read without. I wanted to show you the drainage areas, how we figured them out, but maybe Doug can highlight you on that.
Not with us, whatever you guys have.
Yeah, I have the plans, but I
Yeah,
didn't prepare.
would you like to
Well,
start as a bit of a discussion here?
sure. Yeah, stormwater wise, we did go over the town's ruling that the pre-development condition does not have to be the tree condition that existed 5 or more years ago. So that was taken into account in the SWIP, but the one thing that I had asked you to revise was to remove the pavement, or not pavement, the access road from that precondition, so that you're not showing a reduction of impervious surface. Impervious surface.
Right, which is, that's what I need to, that's the one.
That's basically the last piece of the SWIP. And I guess the main other thing I want to mention is I did ask for additional detail on the decommissioning estimate. So I haven't seen like a further breakdown of that yet.
Yeah, we have that. did want to make the point that we are not in an ag district. I think the town is asking us to prepare a decommissioning plan that adheres to those rules, which we're fine with doing, but just want to make everyone.
Doesn't it cover, it has to follow the ag markets no matter where the project is, right?
Yeah, typically we do in terms of making sure that it's, it's restabilized and everything that you've done.
Right, so we
So
know.
we supplied the decommissioning plan, but not the line item detail. We do that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, along those lines, I just looked at the decommissioning cost estimates and I think they're a bit lean. There's really no disposal cost whatsoever. And you take a credit of $50,000 for the salvage value of the metal. And I don't think that's gonna fly. Typically, you gotta include everything as being disposed of, so that would, 115,000 is blow by, better cost of the whole projects. And to get rid of those panels, can't be a negative, they're not that much value. So that's gonna be, I mean, Doug can provide that with some other projects he's worked on.
Yeah.
We kind of just compare them based on, the megawatts of the project, what is it, and
I think we lean heavily on 2019 data from NYSERDA.
NYSERDA's guidelines are, they're not really detailed enough.
You can take that back.
Yeah.
Doug, it's right in the local law, what has to be accounted for. It specifically says no salvage value, prevailing rate.
Yeah.
Wages.
No salvage value.
Whatever the town would have to pay in the event you didn't do it. So that's what we came up with, because the town's not gonna get salvage value necessarily or anything else.
There's been mention of another facility in the town. I don't know how that compares size wise. Could we have access to what was done there?
Yeah.
This is the model.
We did it.
That's kind of aged at this point. It's
Yeah, that
way-
predated this version of the local law.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so we can revisit the local law
Yeah.
and revisit.
It's all in.
Sure, salvage value, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Doug, can I ask, I wasn't at the on-site meeting. What was the result of the meeting with the emergency service and the access roads and that stuff?
Yeah, so, I know the discussion had come up about access to the string inverters. So it sounded like the 20-foot width between the fence and the panels was adequate if they have an ATV style unit to get down through the site. So you wouldn't have to construct additional impervious gravel access roads. But then there was additional discussion of, the host community agreement funds and how they could be applied possibly towards that to make the fire department.
So basically, the fire department saying, we won't require an access drive if you provide us funds to purchase a vehicle that negates the need for the access drive.
Yeah,
We're okay, there's, yeah.
Okay, so how do we,
Just
Yeah,
hang on
it's
to everything. So Doug, we need to do a separate host community agreement with the fire guys. Because the town's host community agreement funds are dedicated in the local law to other purposes. Okay, so that's just the way they drafted the law, so,
We're okay with
Yes.
this. Yeah.
okay.
Do you have the boilerplate?
Maybe we could, like a dialogue about the structure and content of that host community.
Sure,
agreement.
sure.
I don't know if they have separate counsel.
Which one? That's
Lansing.
Lansing. The Lansing would have a separate counsel that's Lydia Marola, and she's in Scotia. And Lydia represents the village of Lansing, because it's a village, the village is the AHJ. They're only covering us because we have a fire protection district.
So, great, I think maybe I'd still like to take you up on that offer to
No problem.
work through something here that's good, that the town is good for purposes of this week. Their permits Then we can move on and dialogue really about any additional requirements you may have.
Okay, that works, no problem.
No, we have the representative from the Lansing first responders. Would you like to say anything? You kind of pleased with the
Yeah, we
proposal?
were pleased with it.
Okay, good. And have you looked into, what you might need?
We have, we're working on it right
How much is the helicopter?
more so the landing pad.
That would change the SWIFT, you can't do that. Okay, all right, well, that's good progress, and, I think, we're on the right track. We haven't heard any comments from the outside yet, because it's really been internalized, we haven't had a public hearing.
Right,
I think we're in
Chris,
pretty good shape.
Yes, ma'am.
just to be sure, this did go out for
Yes.
secret coordination to everybody. And did we get any letters from the involved and interested agencies?
No.
Okay, that's it.
Chris, I'm sorry, has there been anything from the county, DML 239M, county planning board?
There has, no, we haven't, that I know of, nothing's come back yet.
But when it went out.
Yes. Yeah,
It did.
Yeah,
It did
yeah.
go out, yeah.
yeah. It did go out.
Doug, you might want to call Steve Feeding to see if he has any more questions or anything.
Do we anticipate the revised SWIP coming by next meeting?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. We know that probably next week I'll get it back to Doug. It's not live, it's gotta change the numbers and check the storage basin again for volume. It's really all we got. Everything else is runoffs and all that stuff is all pretty good. It's just changing a couple coefficients. So I can probably by the end of next week, no problem.
So if it makes sense, the planning board, we do the secret determination of significance in August and call for public hearing in September. Well, it's been way more than 30 days, so I don't know that we're gonna hear anything, truthfully. I think we do have a sign off letter from OPRHP for this one. And you guys were out at the site, I wasn't, there's no wetlands out there, is there?
Yeah, there's a couple, but we got confirmation from the Army Corps that it's just a temporary to put the screws down and then they allow you to in the field style wetlands to put the panels in.
So can you speak to that? Cause I saw one comment that the pile or the screws probably wouldn't be, workable because of that bedrock, so that is addressed in the current plan or the next version?
As far as how the screws will be put in,
Yeah.
well, the soil, as you know, we did go out and do test pits. We did 15 test pits. We haven't got the final report on that, but we do have the test logs.
Yeah.
So there will be recommendations back to Kruger on how to install. So more than likely, I mean, Joseph might be able to expand a little bit, but where we hit rock, they'll drill a hole. I'm not sure what it's gonna be filled with. Sometimes it's just a loose stone type, like a mortar type stuff that's loose, and they put the screw in and it hardens. But it's only as big as the screw. They'll do that, 30,000 times if they have to. I forget how many screws are. I think there's only 20,000, something like that. Yeah.
So you're gonna wanna think about noise.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. If the-
And that's where I wanted to mention, because I did look at extra noise. I had put in my previous letter that took a look at installing screws to mitigate the construction noise. Which now after I've been out there, ants have seen the test pit data, if there's no way that a screw.
You're gonna hit rock,
Yeah.
foot down.
Right.
Under your foot, you're gonna hit.
So the good thing is that the sound study already took into account the drilling noise and the pounding of the posts into that gravel that would fill the hole afterwards, so.
Yeah.
The noise study is already covered that.
Okay, because it was already.
Maybe worst case, yes.
But there won't be any blast.
No,
Okay.
no, there's no need for it.
For
Mostly
drill
into it, just like you would foundation better on.
Yeah,
Hours of construction, that's
yeah.
where you may want to consider a condition related to that.
And one other thing I would just noticed, and it's minor, but the landscaping and the screening, I think I saw notes in one of the documents about guaranteed for only 12 months, but it's for the duration of the project.
Yeah, that was, I know Tony wanted to have, we put in our response, we'd like to further discuss that with the board on the life of the project, which would be, what even most releases. 25 years.
Plus 5 year, so it's 35 year.
Yeah. So, I mean, standard is 12 months, but whatever, however you wanted to do 5 years, we're open.
Well,
If it couldn't be, if not, they'll just do it.
isn't the 12 months just for the guarantee for the landscaper that you
That-
guys
that's-
are building? It's the
Yeah.
trees are part of the site plan approval. I mean, they're on the map. If the landscaping dies, it's gotta get put back to be in compliance with the.
Yeah,
site
because
plan
I mean,
approval.
the goal is to have the project screened for as long as it's there. So if everything dies at year 2, it still needs to be screened.
We have a maintenance bond requirement for the landscaping, and that's what we do, and I gave Doug a copy of the landscape maintenance agreement. So you have that, the one we use for Oak Hill, yeah.
There's no offense driving around other communities, every single one of them where they have plantings, they're dead. They're not maintained, you know. So I think what we want is kind of guarantee that these are gonna be maintained, you have die on.
Yeah, I mean, talk with your LA, whoever's doing the landscaping planning. You know that bedrock is, potentially a foot down, it might be challenging to get, mature trees to grow there, so just, pick the species appropriate for what's there, because. A lot of times we see the landscaping plan, and it's like, it's not even zone hardy for, our elevation, our exposures, so.
We'll have him go through and check again. I believe he's building a higher berm elevation
And
as
that,
well.
yeah,
so-
that's gonna help, but just, make sure they're aware of the site conditions.
And we are putting it's in the stormwater, but just to mention that where the landscaping berm is to the west, right, where all the residential homes, parking lots, we're actually putting a grass swale along the inside, so everything that ran to the residential homes through that will now be diverted down and into our storage pond. So about 4 acres of land actually be diverted back to the solar area itself, so we're collecting that.
Okay.
It should be a good downstream benefit.
Oh, yeah.
If there is
Our
any.
soils, we love it,
Yeah. So,
Could I ask, I want to, it's very important that we respect the board's typical procedure. But we've been here for a long time and we've been trying to be very responsive at every meeting. Would the board consider secret determination prior to the public hearing, then opening the public hearing at the August meeting?
Well, are we doing a subdivision as part of this?
Well,
No, so if that's the case, then it's up to the board, but if the board would like to do the negative declaration after the public hearing, you could do it that way as well. Because this is just a special use permit site plan approval. That'll give you a chance to hear everybody's comments and address those comments as part of the circuit determination.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that. It would just, I think they have to be aware that if we get significant comments that they're not able to address or don't have answers to, we may not be able to give that determination.
Certainly, and we may need another meeting,
Yeah.
but I mean, for a project like this, it's likely to have comments because of the residents surrounding it. I think it makes sense to hear those comments and then do the determination of significance. So if you're okay with that, we can do the public hearing next, what would that be? August?
15th.
Yeah,
and would the negative declaration, assuming that, that there aren't any major comments at the public hearing require, changes to secret determination. Would that be done the same evening or following evening?
Probably following meeting, yeah, and then you would just do the,
You know,
typically, they would just then do the determination of significance as part of the approval for the project.
all
So
right, as we're talking through this, I think perhaps the way you outlined it first. might be the best way to do it. Go with the secret determination. And then, the public hearing thereafter, it has to be August and September, it's the August and September.
Yeah, and
And
the way
just-
we.
Yeah, sorry, just to clarify, so it would just be a preliminary secret determination that we would do next month, not the final.
When does the final come?
Typically after the public hearing, typically we do them. We coordinate them in one meeting, so the idea being we issue our preliminary determination, set the public hearing, then allow for public comments, and then finalize the determination, provided there are no significant comments offered during the public hearing. So we would still, no matter what, take into consideration public comments as part of the final determination.
As far as charting out the, you know, the path forward, am I hearing you correctly? In that it would be preliminary secret determination, August, September public hearing. And then the next month, presuming everything goes smoothly with the public hearing, final determination on secret, et cetera, et cetera. Best case scenario.
Yes, provided it's possible, we could do the final determination after the public hearing, again, if there are no significant comments.
It could be secret after the public
It's
hearing.
possible,
Okay, okay. I mean,
just
obviously,
to try to lay out the timeline, I think.
Yeah, everyone comment.
yes.
Yeah.
And that'd be preferable behind, yeah, okay, great.
So what did we end up with? I wanna make sure. Okay, so we're gonna do the preliminary negative declaration at the next meeting. And then we're gonna call for the public hearing, so the public hearing would be in September. And then either September or October, there'd be the final decision.
I'm sure it'd be.
Maybe no one will have comment.
There you go.
I'm not. That full of that.
But you gotta make sure you got all your ducks, and you gotta
Yeah.
get fire guys satisfied,
Yeah.
decommissioning estimates, right? and everything, yeah.
Yeah, make sure we get all the revised.
All that,
packages.
that's gotta be there.
Do we, I'm presuming that the host community agreement would be a condition of approval, that wouldn't have to be a thing, we have to.
It's a condition of approval and it has to be approved by the town board.
Yeah, and likewise, the town, the direct town to develop our host community.
That's correct, as well as the
Pilot.
decommissioning agreement and the pilot agreement, yeah. Yeah, lots of conditions.
How about training for the local responders, is that addressed?
That's in the local law.
Yeah. That's important, you know, either resort.
That would happen.
At the first instance, you know, after start, and then as, yeah, maybe as the project matures, every several years, you bring the first responders in again. Make sure they're familiar with the site, in the event, you know, something catastrophic. These guys are not. Okay. Let's go forward on. Preliminary secret, try to get all the documents finalized by August 15th.
10 days in
10
advance.
10 days before.
10 days in
10
advance.
days before the public, or the next meeting. And then, see, communicate with Doug. Doug's our eyes and ears on, you know, for the board.
So
They don't have to talk to
it would
each
be the 5th, 6th of August, we would need all the paperwork.
Should be a problem.
Yes. You don't know what to expect at public hearings, but that's pretty isolated up there on the hill. Yeah, I don't see what there's been attacks, person observation, walks in, it's like. It's like the stormwater things pretty well covered. You know.
Yeah, we had a pretty good conversation, Doug, earlier, so.
Yeah. We just want to all be on the same page instead of. Get it done. There's no trip wires up there that we didn't see. Okay. That's.
Did you want to vote on table it?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll make a motion to table the Kruger Energy special use permit and lot line adjustment until our next meeting, August 15th.
Board Member Novak. Board Member Walpole. Yes. Chairman Schmidt. Vice Chair, you used. Board Member Howland.
Yes.
Board Member Howland.
Yes.
So Chris will need a part 2 and 3 for that meeting.
Okay.
Is that something you can share with me?
Depends, I'll try. Depends on when Chris gives it to me.
I'll give you a call.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, it's here early.
All right,
Yeah, won't be next week, I'm on vacation, the week after. Or the 5th.
all right, thanks.
Good luck. Okay, next item on the agenda is part B with Ticonderoga.
Evening, Andy Rich in the River. We were actually after CTEC Solar, I don't want to jump ahead of it.
CTEC is let's try it.
Okay, all right.
I have an next time.
Want to check? With me this evening is Brian Madone from EDP and Anthony Vitarelli, property owner. We think we have a few times, my first contact, I know you've seen the project, familiar with it, and then the other idea. We had a meeting with town staff, Teresa, project is pretty last, we had a very productive meeting over at town hall tonight. And subsequent to that meeting, we worked through what documents that was necessary listening and where we needed to close the gaps in our application. So since then, we submitted a number of documents based upon the results of that meeting. We think we submitted everything to put you in a position where you could consider a seeker determination, which would be the next step in the process for us. We have the application, site plan, subdivision plan, pre-construction notification to Army Corps, which provides a copy wetland delineation. We have a ship on no effect letter. We have a endangered species negative letter. Soils map, we have the traffic analysis, and Peyton Manning was provided to you. We submitted something new that we see since the meeting, a stormwater feasibility report to show that, we have, it's a large parcel. We want to demonstrate that feasibility analysis that we have more than enough area for each of the proposed lots to handle our stormwater and develop a SWIP. The recommendations from that feasibility report are that our stormwater can be handled through bio-retention areas, vegetative rain gardens, and micro pools, and retention ponds. And so we have the sufficient room on site on each proposed lot to handle the volume. So that is, a precursor, which we think gives you the ability to make a simple determination with the understanding that full blown SWIP will be required. We've provided the water well site report that we have, building elevation. We today submitted a response to Doug's comments in PGE letter. And I know Teresa submitted to Schenectady County, the 239 referral. I don't know if we received anything back yet, but we think, we've kind of all those loose ends that will kind of hang out there, and we address anything that the staff is waiting for. Again, we think we in a position to consider and have your definition here to answer any questions with the understanding that Brian will answer.
So we did also send it out to our developers. So that's the reason it is not that. So it's what the other make sure that, you know, the questions and determines how to come up with the list so that we can be sure that everybody has it all the time. So is everybody satisfied with the information that when we just it looks like we've got stuff
They already declared.
their intent to. So, and again, you know, I sent you a copy
Yeah.
of the.
And to be clear, we sent some of those things yesterday, today, so not, and you, I read it, or you read it. If you have everything you need, it take a month to review it.
I did print them out.
One thing, can you clarify, based on last meeting, what you intend? Last meeting, you were talking about this. Upland Crossing. Two residential homes, then that was talking. Done. And that changed.
No, we never. What we want to do is help them forward. Also. That's what we'd like to do. That's really it. I mean, unless somebody comes along after we sell the lots. And they build the house. We don't anticipate that happening. Putting in over crossing the way. That's really all we want to do. Not the roads, just. Right.
So, and there's gonna be disturbance.
It'll be, they'll have to get away.
So we're gonna have over 1 acre.
I would say. They won't have to do that.
But I guess I would like something. If you're over 1 acre.
Just to get a. Construction permit. I wouldn't say they were. Doing a whole road.
All the color matters.
That's fine.
So
We'll show. That's the plan.
How you gonna get there?
Sure.
What that disturbance is. Over an acre disturbance. You're gonna need at least basis width.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So.
What size are the culverts? What are they constructed of? Big box culverts or just? And where on the map would they be?
Sorry. There it goes. It's a slow computer. There we go. Right. We show that.
Yeah. A quick analysis of legislative soils. This is an easy one because the lots are so big. We have the room, we just gotta show you how.
Yeah, so that's my biggest. No, I'm hesitant that you.
I mean.
Well, let's just one. I would just like to make sure you all have the full package. It's been a little crazy. Do you wanna just walk through with everybody the two that you guys have? Just so, you know, we can tell the truth.
Well, on July 15th, there's a transmittal letter that we have 9 copies of. Items A through O, which is about, it's pretty exhaustive. The application, the ag data statement, full EAF. Pre-construction notification, wetland delineation, SHPO letter. Species letter, existing conditions and maps, soils, traffic assessment, updated site plan, subdivision plan, stormwater management feasibility memo. Says to be submitted at a later date. That's here. Okay, water well selection report and a commercial building elevation. Copy, so I think Doug is that, about this. I don't think we're really missing anything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. Again, on the map, can you just point to where these culverts are then?
So there was, I think there's 6 crossings. Here. 1, 2 for the resident, and then 1 for residential. Here. Right here. But, you know, in my mind, it's, you know, I think
Yeah.
Same type thing.
It's all mobile equipment.
Yeah. Well.
Pretty minor items. Letter. Pretty much. Addressing all of them. Some were just, you know, acreage, because we were not in places. You know, I was asking for the permit to try and
Number 4.
yeah, so. I mean, pretty man is that it's good. Put up a, you know, somebody to be.
It's one of these residential lots. It'll be down here somewhere. Right.
Yeah. It was.
So,
What I mentioned, make, well, I think it's maybe on both roadways, to make sure it's still has space for them to see the entertainment. We have the pre-construction notice, but we didn't have to submit it in the day.
Correct.
Then,
that wasn't.
yeah, so we basically all set to go under the, my permit 33. Plus, 2
So you already have your Army Corps permit? Yeah, no, you didn't have to do none of these are streams, so you didn't have to do a combined permit with DEC. They're all just wetlands. Okay. No, it's if they're, yeah.
And more to come.
The last thing was the report, which
The other thing we would ask you to consider. Taking the deep action on secret. If you also would be willing to stay. Secret action taken. But if you, call for the public hearing, if you obviously took secret action in advance of the public hearing, you, give us a month ahead. It's the ability to help game orders, or just ask you to consider that, with the understanding that for some reason secret doesn't happen.
I mean, we can, it's up to
I always say to you, Tracy, I invited my clients to have a significant concern about the new EDC regulation related to wetlands that's going to affect January 1. And so I'm trying to expedite as many approvals as possible in advance of that.
right, and I have to have those right here. It says, where a property owner has commenced or plans to commence a project of the parcel that did not require a freshwater wetlands permit prior to January 1st, 2025. And either have the final environmental impact statement for the project specified by the agency. Or has received a negative declaration for a type 1 action pursuant to the title of the project, or has received written type approval. So this is type 1 action, which is so the review, and it has those lines. It sounds those parts of the until the public review. So I first twenty project into nature project. Or January 1st, 2027 for project currency, minor projects pursuant to section 16 for this title. So the difficulty here is, at this point, it's not clear to me that you're going to need any DEC permit. So I don't know how you would be considered a minor project. So you had mentioned, so I guess the point is you'll have to take a look at that. But those two provisions at the end are kind of, I mean, there's nobody.
Correct.
Assume you didn't need to get a water quality certification from DEC. Get water quality. You may want to apply for the permit. No, I'm not talking about like formal speech. That's. I'm talking about previous fees permit.
Yeah.
So you might want to apply for that. Either minor or major. And this is just, I don't know if they're gonna tinker with it.
I appreciate you being so interested with it. Thank you.
No problem. So it's up to the board, you can also public for the meeting, but we need to do the preliminary exam. We have meeting, so you guys are ready, or, it's totally up to you guys.
I think we've got a little bit.
You don't know what you're concerned about.
That's my. But we could address those before we do the negative declaration. Before we do the public hearing at the next meeting.
I mean, Doug.
Yeah.
Pretty close. You don't see any trip wires there. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll still, move it along. You know, this is an important project for the town.
Well, make a motion that some public hearing contingent on being able to use the preliminary and prior to the
So I make a motion for the Parkview anti-conduct program to set the public hearing for August 15th. And that will do the preliminary negative declaration before that.
before the public.
Sorry, yes, sorry, before the public hearing.
Question over here.
Yes.
Board Member Howland?
Yes.
Board Member Novak? Board Member Hall?
Yes.
Board Member- Thank you very much.
Okay.
Excellent.
The. Is this? I know someone's on. Do I need to provide? 1,000 feet?
For the public hearing?
Yes,
No.
because it says for special use permits.
But I think
Yeah, we did that.
Wanna make sure.
Around the whole
Yeah,
project.
from there.
And then. it comes out.
We don't.
Well, the subject.
Yeah, we do.
Only for 5 minutes.
We do it.
That's the only thing I said in this, part 2.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing I noticed, there are some people think interested in this project. It's not a public hearing. How many comments, like, questions right now? We're willing to listen to them so that we can be done with this. Address those, answer them. Any questions? There are- Not a public hearing.
I do. I'm Jeanette Coppola. I live on Youngs Road, and my big question is, as we are developing, I want the planning board to take in consideration that water is limited. And we don't have a public water source in the whole community in town. And with all the developing, you're drilling. We're expanding and developing. What is the town planning on doing if the residents who are already here, their water supply becomes restricted, limited, not available? Keep that in your mind as you are planning, because that is an infrastructure that we lack. And please consider that.
Chris, maybe you can offer some on the well down at the baseball field.
Yeah, I mean, currently the Little League well is producing 30 to 50 gallons a minute. Now that's about level with where this project's going. But you're talking Youngs Road, right?
I'm talking
Yeah,
Sage
I
Hill,
mean-
look at Sage Hill, I used to live on Skyline Drive. We used to have a water supply that was artesian, just coming out. We built Sage Hill, you went down Skyline Drive, and the water has really decreased. So it's just plan that in somehow.
I know they've done a number of test wells on the site already. The yields will be decent. Yeah, so there is water there, but like you say, you can always, if you use all the water up, it's not there anymore.
So
You know, I think the type of. I won't speak for the applicant, but I think the type of facilities aren't gonna be high draw.
They're not.
High
Maybe
demand.
it's less than residents.
Yeah.
Typically, so that's,
It's just a concern.
it's valid, very valid comment.
It's
That's,
something that these guys, we might want to even discuss that, the, you know, the expected draw from these wells in aggregate for the whole project is gonna be.
Has anybody done
study on the lighting at night?
Well, that'll be part of.
That'll be part of what they develop each. So this is just basically they're doing subdivision and this is kind of a projected plan. Until they actually have leases and develop that, then when they come, you have to come back with each time with those plans. Part of that will be the lighting will be reviewed at that time.
Will the community,
Increase traffic.
That's part of the traffic study that's
We just got.
When you say these changes will happen, will be addressed when the leases are signed and all that, will the community that will be affected be notified during that process?
Same process, they have to come back to the planning board, they have to get.
Okay.
You know, their permit.
All the adjacent property owners would be notified, so.
Yeah, this is, I guess, the first step in that, and then once they get through the subdivision and this plan, then as they go forward with the site, then as they'd have to come back each time, and then would be the same process.
Except for the 2 homes.
Except for the 2 homes.
2 homes,
Yeah.
just buildings right away.
Yeah,
The 9 other lots, we could be back.
everything left on that commercial lot, but yes, they have to come back to the planning board.
How much are these houses going for, I would say? 2 houses are building, what's the?
They're selling the lots.
Yeah.
They're just selling the lots. Yeah.
And the fire district that this is in is. The Lansing again, and have you had communications with the Lansing?
And did you take any of our considerations into account or?
Yes.
So that map doesn't show it.
So once we do the site plan, I agree to that, yep,
Okay.
yep, absolutely, okay.
What were those? What were those?
So our concerns was water. Obviously, because they're bigger buildings and we're volunteers and obviously it's gonna take longer for us to get to an incident if it is an incident. So there are water ponds. We were suggesting them be connected underneath the road with dry hydrants, so we can actually access more water quicker rather than having to drop more and more ponds ourselves or trying to have more trucks to pull water.
We want to make the road from Gage Road to the site wider for you
Wider
guys.
as well.
Yeah, come that.
And get it so we can.
And you guys are talking about the pond down by the railroad tracks.
Correct.
No problem.
Alright, so that's.
Good. Just keep in mind though, that brings into the stormwater design and the SWIP. Because those ponds are not ponds per se, they're stormwater practices. And some of them are gonna be bioretentions, which don't have standing water in them, even though they're shown as blue on the map.
We were talking about the wet pond, not the retention ponds. As well, so.
Well, what I'm saying is that map that showed stormwater parcels in blue, those not necessarily all of those are standing water. The only one that would potentially have water, and I don't even know, is the micro pool extended detention.
Yeah, which hope to have on each side.
But you want
Yes.
one of those on each
Yes,
site?
yeah, and if he wants to connect it, then we'll figure out.
Yeah, I think the idea is take all the small ones, or as many as possible, connect them. So if they're drawing from one small one, they're drawing.
Well, fire retention, I believe, is like 4 bay.
Fire retention needs its own 4-bay. Fire retention isn't a 4-bay.
I mean, eventually it goes to. What I'm saying is like eventually it goes to the wet pond, and it is shown on each side. So,
Consider the pond what's on there now, before the big building and the Lucian's got his truck in there, or is that a retention pond? It's got a culvert that goes underneath the road.
I think that's just the retention.
Been there.
Which drainage ditch.
And keeping in mind, we're gonna be leasing the warehouse space, we maybe get some retail or, possibly medical. We have a vested interest in making sure there's enough water there for the problem. We have a vested interest in making sure that the fire department, if anybody who's thinking of being a tenant picks up the phone and calls the Lansing Fire, they get the answer that we want them to hear. Yeah, we've been there, we've designed it, they worked with us, we're happy with it.
It's also gonna depend on the use of the building, so you might have to get into having. A sprinkler system, which would have to have like a 30,000 gallon.
Standby tank, yeah.
Right.
We've explored that option.
Yeah, right. So depending on what the building use is, yes, you might be
I don't see any existing pond there.
Come in off of Route 20, go down about 75 yards on the left-hand side behind the first building there. There's a pond, there's a culvert that goes underneath the road. The road floods over, when the rains hard.
It's out
I can also mention to the planning board that there is no ladder truck in town. So if we need a ladder truck, we have to call South Schenectady or Cobblestone or Carmen.
So that'll be based on the
height.
building height,
Yep.
once we get the individual units coming in, aerial access.
That's just a general statement, so there is no ladder truck. We have a 35-foot ground ladder, that's our tallest, that's our longest one we have.
These are important discussions because this, you know, these are the types of things as this project matures, you want it to be done right, you know. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a bad idea if you could give us your comments in writing, so we'll have them on record. Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
I just got a general question. Now, properties that surround this proposed site, but what's gonna happen to the property values and the assessments? Increase property value
This land is currently zoned C2, which is commercial industrial. So it shouldn't have any impact on property values because it's been zoned this way as long as I've lived here. So if you bought your house, that would have already been factored in.
I hate to have to do this, but I got more documents I have to give you. I forgot about this, but this is correspondence with the neighbor.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
And we could really have to. Choose someone that you plan to do that.
Yes, I'm looking for the record.
That was a careful.
The next.
I have.
You all set?
Anything else?
Good, thank you.
All right.
Let's begin on the meeting.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Doug's the key man, you gotta make Doug happy.
I'm all set.
You're all set. Doug, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any more questions for the applicant? They're happy to answer them outside.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Our next item, is Lawrence Jasinski, 577, Levy Road. Six minor subdivision, agreed, unique 41.7 acre parcel, large piece.
Right there.
This is the third time here, the last meeting, we board had a couple things wanted to address and we addressed them. Only thing open is I'm still looking for the standard notes subdivision notes. I've asked for them. One knows where they are to give them to me. Yeah, these have been on, and it was commented on the first meeting, it was here, these are the correct ones, so I want to make sure.
Can read them though.
Okay, is it, the first meeting, I was commented you weren't the right one, so. Okay, I just, that was one, and I know that in my mind, it wasn't addressed. But if it is, then I'll take it off my list. The other ones. it is
Yeah.
Addressed,
I don't see anything.
contacted DEC and I got the, DEM file on the wetlands. Adjacent property, so the 100-foot buffer is close to the area of development on this that we're proposing for this. And the wetland report we did was just for this area of development, so anything that's being proposed right now is only proposed in here, and then I let them know on the plan that if the current applicant or future owners want to develop anything outside of this window, then we have to go to Army Corps and DEC for further review if there's any impacts. I believe that was what was requested at the last meeting, and hopefully we can address all that. And we can move to set public hearing.
The only odd thing about what you just said was you did the jurisdictional determination within that small square.
Correct.
That's the square you're subdividing off the remainder.
No.
No?
This. Here is what we're subdividing. This is the area that will be developed from this.
Okay, all right. That's, I just wanted to be sure. So the note will carry.
And you're subdividing that. 50 off the one.
Yeah, it's over there.
And the one across the street, maybe. Is the same lot.
The bottom right.
This is all one lot. So they're gonna take this off that, this lot, this lot is. I think this one. That's right.
Yeah, you wanted that information and you were gonna consider when you refer it to Chris, yeah, because it's just two lots.
Mine.
Yeah. Well, it's one, you're just doing a lot line adjustment, you're not. Right, right. Okay. Yeah, in the past, we have done two lots from one with an administrative referral. Okay, okay. No, that's right. Okay. We, on the plus side, we have county referral.
Jeff, what did you ask? We got the county referral. All they did, they have one condition that DOH has to approve any wastewater.
Scheduled to meet with them. I wonder for investigate soils for the septic and. Yeah. Yes. You always your building. Yeah, I gotta have all that stuff. Yep. Yes. I'm more with in review my vision for. Yeah. One additional
Yes.
Yes.
You don't even need a public hearing. You're done. You, me both. Great. All right. Frank Younger. Maybe. Yes,
Use the one that went to the garage.
Yeah.
Away,
Yeah.
turn that into a second unit.
Really small lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he has to go, he's already building the garage, he wants to make it. Turn it into.
We'll have to put a bathroom there, right? Or a microwave so we can
A bathroom.
consider this case, yeah.
Has he made it through the ZBA?
For what? He doesn't need to go to ZBA.
He does because all the setback issues.
Yeah, weren't there?
No, and it was an existing one, he tore it down and he's rebuilt.
Well, that was,
That-
we questioned that at,
yeah.
you weren't here.
I wasn't here.
Yeah,
So
so we.
if you-
ZBA.
Yeah, because if you're tearing the entire house down, you're not
There's a
renting
garage.
or garage. There's no longer any structure there. It's not you're not fixing an existing structure with existing variances.
There, you have to get new variance.
Now it's a new structure.
Well, then for the past 25 years, this has been done wrong, because this is exactly how Dale told me it goes, and this is not my first one I've done this on. It says you have 1 year to rebuild, Dale told me has a year from demolition to rebuild in the same footprint.
It's kind of logical, but I don't know what the rules are.
Well, that would be a non-conforming, remember we looked at the thing in Delanson?
Well, that's,
It's-
his time ran out though, that was his problem.
No, I understand, I'm just saying that.
Makes sense.
Let's just take a second and look at the code.
But he also, we need him to show the well, septic or it's got sewer there.
Well, that was the issue too, because you had to relocate the grinder pump or something, and it was going, it would have to go through
Yeah,
the building.
that's right.
I don't think he had to relocate the ground, I think he was just gonna tie the other building. He's gonna tie the other building into
Well,
the same.
once we start talking, it's like,
Tying into.
you don't even have enough room for any of that. From the setbacks.
Yeah, you need to show parking,
All this stuff was already there, he's just putting.
not for two homes.
That was the whole thing. He
This
wanted to
this isn't for two homes though, it's a
Yes.
garage that he wants to put in.
He wants to live, he's got his existing house, he wants to build a apartment or a secondary home
Yeah.
in the garage while he's building the house.
This is why I told him he doesn't though, this is why I told him he didn't even come see you guys, but he insisted on it apparently. Because he wants to put a bathroom, because it's gonna be his wife's sewing.
That's not what he said.
He said when the family comes into town.
And then he said, can I throw a microwave in it? And I said, you can't do that, because then you need a special use permit.
That's what he told us, that he wanted to have.
Right.
Honest to goodness.
Now I remember.
No, he wanted to live there while he's rebuilding the house. That's what he said at the meeting.
Yeah,
Okay,
'cause he was gonna tear down his house and
Alterations.
relocate.
4.2.3, a non-conforming building shall not be reconstructed or structurally altered during its life to an extent exceeding in aggregate cost 1/2 the replacement value of the building, unless said building is changed to a conforming use. In no event shall one alteration be permitted unless such use is changed to a conforming use.
And a conforming use could be obtained through a variance.
Correct.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Well, and that talks about uses, not so much,
So when he applied for the permit, he got the permit, there was no talk of this special use. So that's why he's got a permit to rebuild.
Well, how did he get here if he didn't have a determination from the building inspector
How did he get?
in front of us?
He put an application in for a special use permit for a two-family dwelling.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, when I issued a building permit, for the demo permit and then a building permit for this garage. Before this, 100%. So that's why I don't understand.
Maybe that's where he started, then maybe the wheels got turning and.
So that's why he's got a
It's
permit
evolved.
right now to build a garage. Because when I asked Dale about this, he said as long as he stays in the same footprint.
Yeah, that's what
He has 12 months, as long as he stays in the same.
That's usually if there's a fire or something, not. Do you know what section they'll was referring to, Chris?
No, but I could probably call him right now, you could tell him.
Why don't you try that, just in the interest of trying to resolve this.
I think this is a, one bedroom apartment, plus the garage.
And it's obvious. Rebuilding a garage is gonna be 150% of the existing value.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Once you.
Garage.
Well, let me tell you.
Can't even turn that, get her down.
Excuse me, with all due respect to the public time, is there any way we can table that till after we can finish the last two? I don't want to be rude, he's not here, but we're here.
Sure, I'm sure we'll.
I'm
get
sorry,
to
I
it.
don't think you can do that, but.
Yeah, we'll get to it
It's
as soon
not
as we
very-
can.
No. This is a clarification. Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. We'll take your request. We'll deliberate on this because there'll be no activity on this tonight. Okay, Schenectady Reserve LLC, is that you good? Yeah. Okay. Chris Maladone just requesting a special use permit to build a single family home on the currently zoned, commercially zoned lot.
Wasn't this on the agenda for like the last two meetings as well?
Just last month.
Nobody was here for that.
I called in and I explained that I couldn't be there. I take care of an elderly person. I had to bring her to the hospital.
Where is this located?
Mudge Road in Western Turnpike. The 4 acre lot, 4.25 acre lot.
That has the power line right away, in fee or fee right away?
There's an easement
Is it easement?
for National Grid.
And then, has anybody looked at the extent of the wetlands that are on the property to see if there's
No.
any buildable area left?
Our engineer looked at the upper lot where we're thinking about putting the lot, and there's no wetlands on the upper deck.
So that's the part would be on the north side of the power line?
Correct.
So your frontage would be on that road?
Correct. There was the original house on Western Turnpike at the lower section. It's not there any longer.
Turning west of Mudge.
Yeah, west of Mudge, yes, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, Judge.
How far, so if your driveway's gonna be off of Mudge, how far does the commercial zone go back?
I thought it was a single family zoning.
His was it. So it's literally the black sheep, the house in the corner and his lot. That's it.
The black sheep, the house, his lot, but then, okay, so the whole lot is considered.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you put your driveway, the whole lot is. considered.
Well, it was two lots and then we had to combine them when we purchased them.
Okay.
So there's 2.6.
But it's showing, it shows as one tax map number. I think I had this
Yeah, we had the
conversation.
conversation,
It's really
yeah.
weird. Like, how long ago did you buy it?
4 years ago. It's 4.25 acres, the 2.25 and then it's 2. I think I sent you guys a copy of the survey.
Yeah,
Should be
but
on the application.
that's. So there's 2 acres, what's the, just essentially the area that's north of the power line? Because that's where you're gonna.
I'm sorry, what was the question? I couldn't hear you.
What's the area, the 2 lots?
It's all residential. There's a house that's in the next lot.
Yeah, it's all
No,
residential.
no, of this lot, it's still buildable.
It's 2 acres, the upper lot.
Okay,
Yeah, it's 2 acres. You should be able to see that on the
In the middle of the,
2.06.
Yeah, you're correct, yeah.
And that's both?
No, that's just the upper, and then you can see down the lower, it's another 2.2.
No, I know, I'm saying, but you have two lots that are running parallel north to south. I'm saying the 2.06 acres is.
No, yeah, there's two lots, it's, the power lines run in between the two lots, you see the stone wall, that's not a lot.
Oh,
The
okay.
lots are north and south, not east and west. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the way the map is drawn, the Z hooks are running north and south, not east west.
Yeah, that,
Oh, yeah. I'm
that
sorry,
looks
yeah,
like.
I'm looking at
property
it.
line.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was looking at it,
okay,
you're right.
okay, so how much area is north of the power line cut on the lot that you're looking to build?
It's my understanding that's 2 acres. 2.3, 2.06.
It's weird because the area points both directions.
Yeah. But
something was said, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's the iron pin power.
I think there's.
It's got,
This.
So the lots were merged. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're all one tax map number, I do know that.
So why don't we,
Both
why
sides.
don't we have the?
Both sides of the power line,
No.
one tax map.
But if they were merged, you had to put a plat together.
Yeah,
Why don't we
So
have
when I-
that
when I-
plat?
I don't have it, because when I bought it, it was two SBLs, 2 lots.
Okay.
Chris is the one that told me it was 1 lot, I had no idea.
It's the same tax map number on both sides,
Both sides of the easement.
both sides of the power lines.
Yeah,
Same
but-
tax map.
Yeah, that's here, but then you're.
That's a Z hook, that's not like the lot.
It is a Z-hook, yeah, because
This is a Z hook. This is 1 lot, this is 1 lot.
Grid
No,
owns all
on the
its,
tax map, this is one, all of this land on the tax map is the same exact.
Here, we go over the, one fold these, one fold here.
Yeah.
Hang on,
that'd be helpful.
hang on.
On Sims,
Yeah.
shows one, all this, all this is the same tax map.
Right, and this is, they own it.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
You don't need
You
it.
can do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's no. They're not gonna put no infrastructure that's property there.
Yeah, and that's fine if it is, but your surveyor should have a final plat then that shows it as 1 parcel.
Yeah, because this was done in 20.
Well, once we go to building permit, I'll have to get a survey to in lot lines of where I want to put the house. As well as.
Well, we're gonna need that here as part of the special use permit.
Oh, but Chris told me that I just need to get the special use permit and then.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he would, if it's showing it all as one. Well, I'm going off Sims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it shows it all as one. It doesn't show any of that other stuff.
I mean, the survey was done before we bought the property, so maybe that was it.
Yeah, well, you bought the property before this was updated, this was
Correct.
updated
Yeah,
in
yeah,
2021, so.
What is
Well, the
the,
tax, no, hang on, no, the tax maps don't govern what's a parcel. What governs what's a parcel is what's in the deed and everything, so let's not get confused about that.
Right, if it was separate lots, it would still have separate.
Something's not jiving. This is saying pieces. 1.75 acres, bottom piece is 2.14. I think we need a final plat of what is actually here. And then if your intent is to put a house on there, you've gotta show a plan that shows the house, shows your well, shows
No, I
your
understand,
septic, shows where the wetlands are.
Basically, yeah, we have to approve a buildable lot, so you demonstrate to us that it's buildable.
yeah, because there's gonna be.
Why wouldn't it be buildable? I'm sorry, why wouldn't it be?
Well, just from
buildable?
the-
Setbacks,
Yeah.
wetlands, et cetera, so primarily
Well, my
setbacks.
setbacks, I mean, the setbacks are what, 25 feet?
Yeah.
Uh,
And you just need to see it on the plan, so you should be fine, I'm not saying.
No, I understand that, but that just wasn't the direction I was told.
Yeah,
Because I didn't even know it was zone commercial, I thought it was zone residential.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're gonna have a buffer area from the wetlands that's more than likely gonna cut into part of that north lot. Not that you don't have enough room, but the utility right of way. I'm just assuming that the wetland is somewhere parallel to that utility right of way. It's a 100-foot buffer, so you're gonna have some area that's restricted. In there, so knowing where that edge of wetland boundary is and how much that encroaches on that northern section is gonna be. Because obviously you're gonna need to get a septic in, and then your well separation.
Who's your surveyor?
Ray Tosh. Scotia.
That's who's on this, you're using him as well.
Yeah, that's who he did it for me.
Okay.
He did the survey before I bought the lots.
Same exact, so they were.
So Kara, I believe Kara actually called the county on this and they said that it was one block. The whole thing.
Yeah, that's not what the survey is showing, so that's.
No, when I was told to build it, it has to be more than 3 acres, something like that, so you couldn't build on it a lot under 2 acres. So when we bought the lots, it was supposed to be combined to 1. This survey is showing 2 lots because this was done before I purchased the property. The survey was done, because I always do a survey before I buy property, know what I get. So it should have been converted to 1 lot after the closing.
Yes,
Or during the closing. So
then your surveyor should have the final plat, so.
yeah, I didn't have them updated after I purchased it.
Well, he would have had to done it.
He would have done to file it with the county.
Yeah,
And maybe because I maybe it's not.
I mean, we could go back in our records, so Chris.
This is what we talked about this a few months back. The assessor's office was doing merges without coming in front of the board. There's a lot of them in Dwaynesburg that have been done without being in front of this board and without survey maps. I'm going to tell you, this is probably one of them.
Well,
we still had to
who's
file it.
doing it? When you say
Kara,
they are doing it.
so Kara's done merges through the assessor. If somebody comes in and they want to merge a property, she calls the county and does basically, you guys haven't, there's been quite a few property merges that haven't involved planning.
But they still would have to file. It, something like the county.
Yeah, for it to
They
be-
do, but it's just basically a piece of paper, and it says, actually, there was one that was just done the other day. And it basically tells how many years they're taking from this one and adding to this one. You know what you understand what I'm saying?
She just did a merge the other day.
Well, no, we just got one back the other day, so there was one that was recent.
Understand what's going on, so, we'll talk about that offline, let's focus on what this all needs to do.
Yeah.
So, so we need you to come in with a survey showing the lot as it currently is with the appropriate tax map number on it. Showing where you're gonna put the house, where you're gonna put the septic, where you're gonna put the well, so we can confirm that's okay. Then when you do that, we'll set the public hearing for the special use permit. And then there'll be a public hearing and then we'll approve it for
Okay,
you.
I have a question, do you typically need to come in front of the planning board for a single family house on a 4
If
acre
you're
lot?
building it on a
Commercial.
commercial side,
On a commercial side.
yeah. If
Yeah, if it was residential lot, no.
You wouldn't see us.
I can't just request a special use permit to convert it from commercial to residential and then be done, and in 10 years, maybe I will build a house.
No, that's.
Zoning.
Okay, so what's easier?
What you're
Because I don't know,
doing
I
now-
wanna build this house next week, next month, next year, I don't know.
What you're doing now is the easiest. approach. Yeah,
If he gets a special use permit, he doesn't build the house for 2 years, is it expired? Or is
you
it-
can get it extended,
Okay,
you can get it extended.
so it's 2 more meetings with us, but it'll be done.
It would be like a lot more meetings with the town board to rezone it, and I don't believe they necessarily would. You know.
You don't have some more commercial zone property.
Right.
Well, maybe after hearing the previous one, maybe I'll build a couple warehouses instead of a house, right? Is that better?
Gas station.
A gas station, that's good.
It's what's allowed in.
No, I know that. I mean, it used to be a residential lot, I mean, I bought it from old gentleman that passed away, his house was there, I didn't know it was ever.
Well, probably, so probably where the one lot that was, where the house was, it looks like that was on one lot.
Yeah.
And then probably the one next to it was zoned commercially, because it was vacant at that point, so.
I don't think the zoning has changed in years.
No,
Yeah.
no,
So if I wanted to build a house on this, on the lower lot, could I do that? Because it's single family.
you'd have to subdivide it.
So, well, we already think it's 2 lots.
If-
I can't win. All right, I appreciate it.
Oh, we want to build 2 lots, okay, you saying instead of, are you saying instead of building on?
I was just speaking,
But they're all.
You can always have an ADU if you want to.
which is,
A second house. We do that here,
Yeah, accessory dwelling.
right,
gosh,
right, so if you have a mother or you have kids, we actually have very liberal zoning here.
all right, well, I appreciate your time, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Table is anything to stop.
Table it.
Yeah, I make a motion to table this next reserve special use permit until the August 15th meeting.
Vice Chairman Harris,
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt. Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Board Member Houghton,
Yes.
Board Member Hoffman,
Yes.
Board Member Walpole.
Yes.
Andrew.
The name spells wrong, it's Mullivick, Mollevik.
E.B.
Okay.
There's no, no C.
No R, no
Thank
C.
you.
Yeah,
Oh, got it, thank
chalk it up to my handwriting.
you. Young's Road,
Yeah, so I have purchased the, one of the subdivisions,
Oh.
Elder Realty had out on Young's Road. As part of that farm that was across from
Yeah,
Jennifer.
Yep.
It's the southernmost lot, lot 7, it's 40, just shy of 42.5 acres. It's zoned commercial, I would like to have a special use permit to build a single family. Just for myself.
So is it lot 7?
It's lot 7.
It's one that's accessible from Young's Road.
It is accessible.
The
from
driveway's
Young's
already
Road.
in.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
stone on the ground.
Yes.
Um,
To answer your question, yes.
No, I drive by it all the time.
Yeah.
But I do have electric on, there is a pole on my property that has electric to it. I've talked to the power company. They're able to assess it and run electric to where I'd like to go. I have not run any tests for a well for septic. I do have someone set up to do the septic. Pending this, I don't really want to pay somebody $4,000 to assess my septic if this doesn't go through. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So I think the big thing before we can approve the special use permit, according to the SWIP note on subdivision, he's gonna have to provide a plan with disturbances and everything.
That's if I exceed a certain acreage of disturbance.
Yeah. So that's what I was getting at, you've gotta provide a plan showing where the house is.
And I have that in the paperwork. If you look on the second, yep. So if you might be reaching over, so I'd like to build, and this is at no point to scale, but I'd like to build a detached garage, septic, and a home.
Understood,
Yep.
but you've gotta calculate the disturbance, if it's over an acre of
If it won't
disturbance.
be over an acre disturbance, so what do you want, just a statement on footprint
Well,
per?
No,
per
a
structure?
plan showing that it's under an acre of disturbance.
And I'm just asking, how would I represent that plan to you?
If you have a surveyor, right?
Yes, it was expression survey, yes.
Okay, so the thing to do is if you know what style of house you're building there, go to the surveyor, have him put the footprint of the house, the garage, the driveway and the septic on there, okay, and then to scale, and then that'll show it's less than an acre.
Yeah,
And that sells it.
just what we asked this you've gotta show where the things you're building fit on the lot.
Gotcha, I'm just
Oh,
explaining
yeah.
technically how you do it.
Okay,
Your
yeah.
surveyor can do that for you.
And
Okay,
if it's under an acre, then you're done. If it's over an acre disturbance, then you need a basic SWIP, and all this other stuff, but
Sure.
yeah.
and And this would be a type 2 action, because
Yep.
it's a single family house, just like the
Just like
the
previous
last
one.
gentleman, we never even got to that. And so really, if you bring that in, then we can set the public hearing. That's all we need to do. We have to have a public hearing for every special use permit, and then we're done. Nobody's going to come and comment, trust me. So,
Okay, yeah.
Well, they're fine.
You say that.
House is going there.
I would, yeah, it's not a warehouse, it's just my house and I'm tucked back in the woods.
So-
So I would see the stone.
So to that point, though, we do need to discuss, because we've had this problem in other, when we've done this stuff
yes,
permit.
don't you
Yeah.
come and complain when somebody actually builds a commercial.
So you are,
Next
this is a commercially zoned lot.
Yeah, and
You are adjacent to other commercially zoned
I
lots.
assume that risk and I would, hopefully that risk is negligible given the wetland that is very encompassing on my north end. And hopefully no one would want to get in there for any purpose, and that would block me from any view is my assumption, but no, it is a.
That you'd have people come and comment that say, oh, I live next door to this in my house. And
Yeah.
And have a visit Dollar General.
For sure.
Your house is
Yeah.
zoned commercial, so.
Yeah, definitely, that's something I take into account.
Yeah.
Just,
To make this less painful, can we just set the public hearing for the next meeting? With the understanding that he's gonna bring that plan in, or you?
I won't have it in that period of time as
Okay.
I'm stealing it. If I do have to use an assessor to do this,
Survey.
survey to do this, I do not believe I'll be able to get this done by, I guess it'll be August about this time.
August
I don't believe that would be
Okay.
doable on my end. I-
If you want, we can set it. If you're not ready, table it. That way, we're trying to be quick for you.
I appreciate that, I don't personally have a surveyor on hand, I just know that it was freshly surveyed back in October when they split this up.
That
I
might be
mean,
another
to
person.
put together what you need. If you call up some people, shouldn't take long.
I don't disagree, it shouldn't, it's just, I've got a brother who just had his property surveyed and it took him 8 weeks to get out there. So I know survey, and I talked to a surveyor before I purchased this property, and they let me know the lead time on surveyor's time is far out, so that is my concern, I don't believe it's a tough ask, it's putting on their schedule.
We can just table it. If you're not,
Joanne.
She's ready to go.
And they're busy.
I actually remember, she is one of the receptionists I got with her out in Copakill, warned me. If you can, try to use the surveyor that did it previously, and just, so you know, we are very busy, this will take time if you do select us. Yeah, so that's why I don't think, that it is.
It'll be easy, it's because she's got all the search, she's got all the.
Yeah.
Everything, you know.
But if you could wait, because it would be most efficient for you to use her, but if you can wait until September, we can.
And it does have to be, this is not something that I can do as a calculation.
No, we need to see it on an official plan.
Okay.
You could have an engineer do that, not a surveyor, if you can find one of those quicker.
you can get the data,
Yeah.
the survey data or the survey drawing.
And I guess, I mean, I don't have any house plans or anything at this point,
It doesn't.
do I have to have state drawings?
Yeah.
It's just more of a
2,000 square foot footprint.
And that's exactly what I assumed.
10,000 square
And that's-
foot barn.
That's how I was sort of ballparking my calculation on the driveway.
We all want a 10,000 square foot bar.
I got 20,000 square feet of driveway.
And that's where I apologize, that's why I don't I don't wanna pick it with you guys, but I don't understand why I can't just say, if my footprint is this. It's just simple, I mean, it's gotta stay under 43,000 and change square feet, so if it.
That's why I'm saying it may be quicker and not to have a surveyor do it, just have an engineer do it with the existing survey map.
And I'm not trying to be difficult, but that's where I'm like, if I tell you guys I'm gonna build a 2,000 square foot home and it's 2 stories, okay? So I've got 1,000 square foot disturbance for my foundation there. And then a 2,000 square foot barn, there's a 2,000, so I feel like that's the calculation there. So what additional information do they give you?
Well, you also need it on the survey, so we can see how.
So you need to know, in addition to what the disturbance is, you wanna know where the disturbance is.
Yeah,
And
because
setbacks, you need to meet setback requirements from the property.
Right, and the setbacks is, I mean,
Yeah, it's an
in the
it's an easy fit, it's just we gotta see it.
Okay. And I guess the other, I mean, it's all going to be estimates, right? This is okay when I say that there is a range.
Unless you come in at 0.999 acres or something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, and I think I'm comfortably below anything that I need, and if I do come in at 0.99, I rearrange some things to come in below that. Because especially the thing that I would see vary is septic, because that's something that I really don't control as far as my wants. I want a septic, but I still have to do the survey, or they'll have to do the.
What's the right limit before you have to have a term?
500.
500, okay. Just be careful of that. If you send back pretty far, if your driveway's over 500 feet, you have to have like, what do they call it, hammerhead?
Just a turnaround for a fire truck.
Fire
It's
truck or.
probably close to 500 because this line is 1,000 feet and he's about in the middle.
So just be
So
aware of that. Alright.
That'll hold you up from getting a CO.
What is a CL?
Certificate of occupancy, so you can live there.
Certificate of
Yes,
occupancy.
but it's very minor, so if your driveway at 500 feet, you have to have pull offs with the truck.
I mean, I can very comfortably tell you it's over. It's 1,200 feet.
It's like a.
Because you're the general connection.
No, we talk about this also having.
No, yeah, it's here.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I come from here, so that's not where I'm coming from, I'm coming from here.
Yeah.
And this deal is about 800 feet deep, so.
That's the fire safety code appendix D.
Okay.
The building code, so if you go online and you Google that.
Can I follow something, Ken?
Yeah, here.
Yeah. Fire safety code what?
It's appendix D of the New York State Building Code. So if you go to the Department of State website, they show you those lengths of driveway and what you have to do,
Okay.
okay?
And then it's not an assessment, it is a survey, okay,
Or engineer.
yeah.
Who's the local guy that does that?
Lance.
Lance.
I believe that is who had done this survey in the first place, and then.
No, Joanne Darcy Crum did the survey.
I don't think so. It was it was a male that had done the survey.
Yeah, but
The
she,
name's on the.
yeah, she had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She has,
Works for her.
yeah.
Okay.
Right, but Lance Manis is an engineer, he
Okay.
he do it quicker.
And he lives right around the corner.
Vance is retired.
Sure, yeah.
I know.
I mean, it's.
I know, I just get
Okay, it's hard, it's Joanne from that?
Joanne Darcy.
Joanne Darcy.
Well, he keeps getting phone calls from people, like, all right, you know.
Yeah, that retired guy, I think is the guy I spoke to, who done the original, and he said-
He was a part of it.
Lance's phone number is 518
Exactly.
875 6765.
Cause I think it was on my paper,
No, it was on our.
Okay, but on my paperwork, I have it, part of it was attached with my search. And
I mean, if you want his number, that's it. If you don't.
Okay,
Lance does mostly septics, he doesn't do a lot of survey.
okay.
That would have been way too big for Lance, he wouldn't have taken that on.
Septics. And I,
But he does a lot of.
I think Cara had recommended me
For the septic,
septic,
yeah.
but I
He does a lot of
that
septics.
was it. KD Engineering, I think I'm using for the septic, is what I got set up, yeah. Kurt, I don't know, but KD Engineering. Okay, sure, yeah.
He can do the house thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can draw the house.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I already had an appointment with him pending this, to go do like a circus, so.
Yeah, talk to him.
Okay.
I
didn't know the
I
scope
do-
he takes on.
I do quite a bit of work with Kurt and he can do this really.
Yeah, and he knows what we look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Kurt.
Do you guys wanna make a motion to set the public hearing for the next month if he comes in with it, and if not, then the
Then we
following
can
month?
table it.
Yeah, if we're saying that Kurt is a good guy, I mean, like I say, I'm already in touch with him on the septic, because I didn't realize this would be something I have to take on. Talking to Kara, I thought it was just give him a drawing and we'd be good to go. But if it's not, then yeah, I'd be willing to reach out to Kurt to get this done as soon as we can.
I would schedule it. I feel very confident in this.
I'll try.
All right, let's make a motion to set the public hearing.
And if I have to post it off, I don't.
You just let us know.
It's no big deal, okay.
Yeah, and then.
Put you on the agenda.
Okay. Fantastic.
So I make a motion to set the public hearing for the Andrew Molovic.
Yep.
Special use permit. for
Yes,
lot
already
number
set.
7
I'll
on
second.
Hemmons Road for city, August
August
15th. Okay,
15.
15. Okay. So if you get that sketch, it'd be good to get that to.
And I was it 10 days before, something like that?
Yeah.
7 days before?
Yes.
You can take it.
I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Minimize engineering work.
You say that.
This is an engineer.
Jason, our buddy Brett- Jason Brett Stever for, you know.
The survey's already done.
Chairman Schmidt,
Yes.
Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Board Member Houghton,
Yes.
Board Member Hoffman,
Yes.
Board Member Walpole,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Harris.
Yes.
Okay. So just keep in touch. We'll
Got
try
a
to
public
get
hearing, I'll get you guys
Yeah.
paperwork.
you know, the likelihood you disturb over an acre is, that's a long shot unless you're gonna put a super highway in, way up in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, I already kind of know where I was gonna serve as far as the driveway. Can't see, but anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Small
don't
town.
forget to do your referral to county planning. We need to do a referral to county planning.
This is not me or?
No,
It's
this
okay.
is us, don't.
Okay. Did we also do that in the previous one, or did we wait on that one?
Well,
He didn't sound like he was so willing to move forward.
I don't know what's going on with that, I gotta say, so let's just focus on what we know is moving forward. So go ahead and refer it to Steve. You know, with the documentation that we have.
County planning already, you know, the whole subdivision.
What?
They must have already reviewed the entire, the whole.
Well, he'll get back to us like that.
The driveway.
I did not, I rested, my brother, they have that. Yeah, anything work with you guys?
Thank you. All right, good to go. All right. Okay, I think that about wraps it up.
What's that?
What did you find out from Dale?
Okay.
Anything?
Section 3 or 4.
Okay, downstairs in his office.
He said it says 12 months. For you were reading the non-conforming thing, he said somewhere near there it says 12 months.
Section, what was the
3 or
number?
4, 3 or 4, he said.
3, 4, 4.
3 or 4.
So section 4 is non-conforming uses. And it says, except as hereinafter provided the lawful use of any building, structure, or land, not contrary to laws or ordinances heretofore in effect, existing at the time of the enactment of this ordinance or any amendment hereto, may continue, although such use does not conform with the provisions of this ordinance or amendment. And then we go to changes in building or use. It's not an unsafe building. It's not a building that's being restored. I see what he's looking at. He says, any building damaged by fire or other causes.
Other close.
The wrecking ball?
It was.
Non-conforming use within 1 year, provided the square footage of the building is not increased. So there you go. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So, but we need a determination of that, you know.
I didn't even know that he was in front of you. Like I
And
never
how
saw
can
him.
that happen? We shouldn't have an application if it doesn't have a building determination with it.
I agree.
So if we get one again, we're gonna just table it. Cause otherwise we look stupid.
So, I mean, what's happened or whatever, that is what it is, but how do we go from you can't change 50% of a structure to I knocked it down and that applies?
Well, damage, but well, look, honestly, it's a defect in the code, which we can fix by having the town board fix it. But for now, the question is that a reasonable interpretation? And if it is reasonable, and if it is how Dale's been interpreting it for the past, you know,
Yeah.
30 years, I think We better off sticking.
No, I know, it seems like, I mean, then the other, you know.
Yeah, to me,
thing-
other causes a flood is.
Yeah, like
a
natural-
natural- Yeah, not, I tore it down.
Yeah, it's like.
And street
like-
pools.
I
Termites got in
would-
there and
I
not-
would agree with that.
To be fair, it wasn't in good condition.
Yeah.
It was
So
falling
there
down,
you
just like
go.
the house is not little.
Other causes, neglect over time.
Feel like the main thing.
But the cause of it being damaged was an effort to replace it. It wasn't an accident, it was purposeful.
I share your viewpoints.
I mean, I know it was under, you know, because of it. That's
Like
what-
this section needs fixed because it's really also in the guise of. It says changes in building or use, but it focuses almost entirely on changes in use, which isn't helpful either. I mean, there are better provisions that this could be replaced with. I recommend planning board find one they like and make a recommendation that section 3 be replaced with it, so that it makes sense going forward. I mean,
But,
wouldn't
yeah,
that be better?
yeah,
Yeah.
but now I've got a question, okay. He got a building permit without going to the ZBA based on that interpretation.
Right.
But the building permit doesn't match what he told us he's building.
He's got a building permit for a garage.
Right.
But he's got an application for a second dwelling unit.
Well, that's
So-
okay.
so he
can
had
build
to
the
then.
garage,
He could build the garage and then come back to us for
The special use.
his
permit.
special use permit.
Yeah,
Well,
cause he's
no,
still got a garage.
Yeah,
he
but
can't live in a garage.
No.
No, but what if he wants to, then he,
Then he's gotta get another building permit.
no, he's
No.
gotta get a
You can live in a
business.
garage. You can live above a garage. As long as it's fire protected, you can have a house above a garage.
Not
Chris is not giving him a
A CO.
CO for a house and a dwelling unit and garage. He's given him a permit for a garage,
Right.
okay, and so he doesn't get a CO for anything other than a garage, okay? Now, if he comes to us and says, well, I have my garage and I wanna have a bathroom and a microwave, strangely enough, then, then we can approve it, and then Chris, once he's done with the construction for that, we'll have to inspect it
Mhm.
and give him a CO for that.
we need a variance first though, because it's 2 feet off of property line,
No, not if it's in the same place it was, yeah.
even though the change of use.
Well, let me think about that.
And the res check for a residence is way different than an unheated garage. So
Right.
you can't just live in a garage.
No.
What?
There's energy codes, there's,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So he's getting a building permit and building something that
As far
may
as
not
I-
necessarily,
He's building a garage. Now, if he gets a special use permit to live in this garage, all of that changes.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm, but the point is, we should be trying to help this guy. I mean, if he's building this thing with 2x4 studs, it's never going to meet the res check and to be a residential structure.
But look, that's not our job here, we're the planning. Okay, I'm more bothered by Josh's. Yeah.
I've been trying.
And all that's coming along.
Well, this says changes in building or use, so.
or.
Accidentally knocked down.
What did I say?
Yeah.
Could you please make a suggestion to the town board on a non-conforming use section that would make sense? That'd be a big plus.
We make a motion, or would Jeff make a recommendation?
Oh, well, yeah, if you found a section that you thought would be better, we could send a letter to the town board saying, we've been looking at section 4, non-conforming uses in the zoning code, and we think this would be a better substitute for that, and then the town board will look at it and go, okay, or not okay. It's, it's not a
This is
big
a
deal.
subset of non-conforming use. This is
This
a non-conforming use that are to pre-existing non-conforming use that then gets removed and then changed.
The use was conforming, the building was on.
Yeah,
Right, because it's a residential garage, right?
yeah,
Is there a house there?
yeah.
Okay.
Which is what he's gonna live in, the garage.
But I mean, to like. To your point, Josh, though, like if that would be me and the garage is falling down. And I wanted to make it nicer there. And I didn't wanna jump through all those hoops, like it doesn't make sense why you have to get a variance, to put something back that's nicer in the same exact spot it already was. That just doesn't,
Yeah,
to me,
except
that doesn't make any
It
sense,
doesn't meet the current.
but it's already there. So whether I leave it there or not, it's still there, it's not doing it, I'm just doing it newer, nicer, it's the same spot.
Different municipalities have different views on that, you know, so. We won't talk about that for him, but.
No, but I'm just saying, like, instead of, I could just leave this decrepit thing there until it falls over and, you know, whatever, or I can try to make it nicer, which is gonna raise, if I'm building it.
Yeah, I
A
guess.
newer house and a new garage, it's making the property values next to me go up.
When we have a non-conforming structure, it doesn't matter how nice we wanna make the new one, we have to make it conforming when we replace it.
Yeah.
And it's not even if we do 50%, it's like, it's all or nothing.
Well,
But-
there are, the zoning codes throughout New York State vary greatly in these provisions. They're very different, like if you go some places. And they're very restrictive, if you go some places, they're very liberal, and favorable to the property owner, so, I mean, we tend to be. More favorable to the property owner, which is great, here, I just think we're ambiguous.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, you know, if it's not utterly clear what's going on, that's not good.
But it's good to know that's how it's been
Yeah.
interpreted for.
Yeah.
So. I'm surprised more
There's been a
people have
precedent.
accidentally knocked down their, you know.
Like I said, this isn't the first one.
Another.
And the guy in Lansing would have been fine had he done it
Purposeful
in
demolition.
the right amount of time, but he let his year lapse, which is why they're making him, according to Josh O'Connor, that's why they're running him.
Well, you and I went through their code,
Yeah.
which is different, I gave you my opinion.
Right,
And so hopefully you discussed that with Josh,
I did,
okay.
Meeting minutes?
yes, you got a bunch,
There's
three,
a correction on the one,
you got three.
I only got two.
I think we only
April
have
and
two,
May.
because I think March, we have April and May.
And June.
So one agenda.
Oh, you're right, Taylor wasn't done, you got April and May.
but wait a second, I did send March 21st.
Marches were approved, those are the ones you did.
Yeah, the ones I did, they told me they hadn't been approved.
I think they were approved at the May meeting.
Yes.
We had a
Okay.
forum.
Okay.
Yep, and Carol, I reached out to Carol, so,
Oh, you
but I
told her.
believe that
Okay.
that was approved.
Okay,
And that's what actually, my notes weren't clear, but I remember discussing it because we didn't have a quorum for one of the set of minutes, but we did have a quorum for that. The previous meeting, we didn't have a quorum to approve
February,
March. It was a previous meeting, we didn't have the quorum to approve March,
Yeah.
but then in May, we had the quorum, we approved it.
okay, your memory is much better than mine.
Yeah, right.
How would I look at the minutes if we didn't have?
There's no way I remember.
So March is okay because we corrected the meeting.
Okay, all right.
So I just had one comment, thank you, Teresa, on the April 18th minutes. So it has to do with the Putnam major subdivision, and there's a reference, and I think it's just misworded, so when it comes to the motion. We have those. We can give them. Okay. I can give you, but basically, it's the motion that was made for the Putnam subdivision. And basically, we made a motion to approve the final secret determination and the subdivision, because we had already done the preliminary. Chris, I'll just give you my handwriting.
Okay. Perfect. Those prior.
Kind of interesting that, to make the builder's proposal, they did mention a medical bill.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
do- I'm on top.
Guys.
I've been on top. I just said, I think that's, because at the meeting prior to that.
This is the conversation for tomorrow.
We approve these minutes, let's go.
Okay, so with that comment, I'll make a motion to approve the April 18th, thank you, draft minutes.
I can second that.
Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Board Member Howland,
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt. Yes. Board Member Hoffman,
Steve,
Board Member Walpole,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Harris.
Steve.
Still have 3.
We got enough, right? Okay. And this.
We didn't find anything wrong with it.
That one.
It does say standard notes.
We do have standing notes. Would you ask Dan about that?
Oh, could I? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said, did you?
No, I'm sorry.
There was a lot of notes on that plat, and I was like.
I think somebody in his office probably already had them,
Yeah.
you know, because they, Ingles has
Yeah, they
been
go.
here a lot.
I'll make a motion to approve the May 16th, 2024 minutes.
I'll second.
Board Member Hoffman,
Yes.
Board Member Novak,
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt. Yes. Board Member Howland,
Yes.
Board Member Walpole,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Harris.
Yes.
The only ones we're missing are June and July.
We can't do July yet.
I'm just kidding.
June-
Why not?
June-
Just stay here.
June's are almost done, but I had to come set up, so.
So I just wanted to make sure I understood we didn't have any intervening wet missing.
Right.
That was good.
And we have interviews Monday.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'd like to thank. Adam, thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Important that we, don't forget you guys, when somebody tries to cross jurisdictional lines. Also, it's like, what the contact. And then, really makes the project gel together. Thank you.
Hey, making a motion to adjourn?
And I wanted one more comment. I think Doug Cole is an excellent choice for TD and a tremendous job. He really is on the ball.
Quick to agree.
And he's quick, yeah, he's very, very, very good.
Yeah, the only thing, so many times that if you don't give it to somebody else once in a while, so they're not gonna bid anymore, so. They have to be competitive, so.
I got a note today.
Well, we talked about, I brought that up before, and we said that maybe the solar because of the experience,
Yeah,
it made
yeah,
sense,
he's got a good.
but yes, if we have other ones that are, that we can. Work something else on, I think, yeah, you should consider that.
So, just checking with my fellow members, I'm taking all of the Ticonderoga Park material with me, because we're not gonna get
Yeah,
more.
I think.
Yeah.
We're gonna get more copies.
I'll
Save some trees.
And I thought it was really important that everybody had everything together.
Thank you.
Because it was just chaos before, because we've gotten things at different times, and because of the fact that you know, we didn't have a clerk, it was getting very confusing. You know, so
Much appreciated.
I just want to make sure that Kruger has a lead agency coordination. When that went out.
I will double check tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure because she was still here when,
Okay,
so.
just double check, and I know the Hebert one, that MC, whatever. That came in first, or,
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
yeah.
They had to start over, change the line.
Yeah, they changed the layout.
The layout and panel company or something.
When they come for the building permit, they'll change it again.
They'll be back in August though, she said.
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Oh, he moved it.
That's two, that's number one.
Okay.
Vice Chairman Harris?
Yes.
Board Member Hoffman?
Yes.
Chairman Schmidt? Yes. Board Member Novak?
Yes.
Board Member Howland?
Yes.
Board Member Walpole?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I can't. He made it.